It was a quiet summer morning in New York City. The sun was shining brightly. People walked to work, drank coffee, and checked their phones. Children played in parks. No one knew that this ordinary day would change everything forever. Suddenly, every screen in the world turned on at the same time. Phones buzzed loudly. TVs flashed bright. Computers showed the same picture. Even billboards and car screens lit up. A giant holographic face appeared in the sky above every city on Earth. The face was tall, pale, and cold. Its eyes looked like black stones. The alien had no smile. A deep voice boomed across the planet like rolling thunder. It spoke in every language at once, so everyone could understand. "People of Earth," the voice said. "We are the Zorath Empire. For thousands of years, we have ruled the stars. We have conquered hundreds of worlds. Your planet is young and weak. Now you will kneel before us and pay tribute." The alien paused. His words felt heavy and frightening. "You must send us your best resources, your oil, your gold, your food, and all your advanced technology. You will give us your strongest leaders. And you will send 1 billion of your people to serve us as workers. You have exactly 7 days. If you refuse, we will burn your cities and turn your world into ash. There is no escape. Kneel now." The message repeated again and again. The giant alien ship hung in space above Earth. It was huge, bigger than any city. It looked like a dark metal moon that blocked the stars. Scientists around the world quickly checked their instruments. They were shocked. The ship was real. Its weapons were powerful enough to destroy entire continents in minutes. At first, people thought it was a joke or a movie. But then they saw the same face in the sky everywhere. In London, people stopped their cars in the middle of the road. In Tokyo, crowds gathered in streets and looked up with open mouths. In villages in Africa and farms in India, families held each other tightly. Fear spread like wildfire. In New York, a young mother named Sarah dropped her shopping bags and hugged her little daughter. Tears ran down her face. "What will happen to us?" she cried. In Mumbai, office workers ran out of tall buildings. In Rio de Janeiro, people prayed loudly in churches and streets. Stores emptied in minutes as people rushed to buy food, water, and anything they could find. World leaders tried to speak to their people. Presidents and prime ministers went on television, but their voices did not work. The aliens had blocked all human broadcasts. Only the alien message played. Panic grew stronger every minute. Some people shouted and fought in supermarkets. Others sat quietly, too scared to move. News channels showed live pictures of the giant ship. Experts said the Zorath Empire had done this before to other planets. Those worlds had knelt. They became slaves. But not everyone was ready to give up. On the rooftop of an old building in New York, Captain Elena Reyes stood alone. She was a young soldier in the United States Army, tough, brave, and only 32 years old. She had short black hair and sharp brown eyes. Elena looked up at the massive alien ship with her fists clenched tight. Her radio crackled, but all channels carried the same alien demand. "Kneel, tribute, 7 days." Elena stared at the dark ship for a long time. The wind blew her hair. Around her, the city was falling into chaos. Sirens screamed. People ran in every direction. But Elena did not run. She did not cry. "No," she whispered at first. Then she said it louder. "No." She turned and walked down the stairs with strong steps. In her mind, one thought burned bright: we will not kneel. Not today. Not ever. Down in the streets, more people started to feel the same fire. A few soldiers, scientists, and ordinary citizens began to gather. They did not know what they would do yet. But they knew one thing: Earth would not bow without a fight. The aliens watched from their ship. They laughed at the tiny humans running like scared ants. They believed the game was already over. They were wrong. The 7 days had just begun. And something powerful was waking up on Earth. After the alien message ended, the whole world fell into chaos. People ran through the streets. Families hugged each other tightly. News channels showed crying men and women everywhere. The giant alien ship floated silently above Earth like a dark shadow of death. In underground bunkers and secret video rooms, the leaders of every country joined an emergency meeting. The screens showed worried faces from America, China, Russia, India, Europe, and many more. The President of the United States spoke first. His voice was tired. "We have no choice," he said. "These Zorath aliens have technology we cannot even dream of. If we fight, they will destroy us in hours. We must surrender and send the tribute. At least some humans will survive." Many leaders nodded their heads. The leader of China said, 1 billion people is too many, but we can save the rest. The Russian leader added, "Our weapons are useless against them. It is better to kneel than to die." Fear filled the room. Some leaders even started making lists of people and resources to send to the aliens. But not everyone agreed. In a small dark room in New York, Captain Elena Reyes watched the meeting on her laptop. She was still in her military uniform. Her team of 5 people sat around her, 2 young scientists, 1 old engineer, a hacker named Marcus, and a tough soldier called Sergeant Khan. They had sneaked into the meeting using secret military codes. Elena stood up suddenly. Her voice was strong and clear. "No," she said loudly. Everyone on the call went quiet. "We will not kneel. These aliens are not gods. They are bullies who pick on weak planets. We are not weak." The leaders looked shocked. One old prime minister laughed nervously. "Young woman, what do you know? This is the end of our world." Elena did not back down. She shared her screen and showed secret files collected by scientists over the years. "Look at this," she said. "The Zorath Empire has attacked 32 planets before. All of them surrendered and became slaves. But none of those planets fought back like humans can. We are different. We love freedom more than life itself." She played old videos of human history, wars, disasters, and how people always stood up again. "We survived ice ages. We survived world wars. We went to the moon with simple machines. Now we will fight for our home." The room was silent for a moment. Then something amazing started to happen. The President of the United States looked at Elena and slowly nodded. "Captain Reyes is right. We have fought against impossible odds before. Maybe it is time to fight again." Old enemies began to talk. The Chinese leader offered to share their best missile technology. Russia promised their strongest tanks and submarines. India said they would send their best engineers. Even countries that usually fought each other now work together. "We will turn every factory into a war factory," said one leader. Car factories stopped making cars and started building weapons. Old shipyards worked day and night. Scientists in hidden labs mixed dangerous new chemicals to make powerful bombs. Marcus, the hacker, smiled. "I have an idea. We can try to break into their systems. Even if we only steal small information, it will help us." While the leaders planned, normal people also started to change. In villages and cities, men and women stood up. A young teacher in London said, "I will not send my students to become slaves." A truck driver in Brazil loaded his truck with food for soldiers. Old soldiers who had retired came back to help train young fighters. The aliens watched everything from their big ship. They sent hundreds of small scout drones down to Earth. These drones looked like black metal birds. They flew over cities and recorded videos of humans running and crying. The Zorath commander laughed loudly on his bridge. "Look at them," he said to his officers. "Just like all the others. They fight for a few days then kneel. Send more drones. I want to enjoy their fear." But the drones showed something strange. Yes, many humans were scared. But more and more were getting angry. People painted big signs that said, "Earth will not kneel," and "Humans stand together." In many places, people looked up at the sky and shouted at the alien ship. Captain Elena stood on the same rooftop as before. The night sky was full of stars. She looked at the alien ship with burning eyes. "They think we are weak," she told her team. "They do not know our heart. We will use their pride against them. We will prepare in secret. When they come down to take tribute, they will get the biggest surprise of their lives." The world leaders finished their meeting with new hope. For the first time in history, all humans had one goal: to protect their home. Factories roared with machines. Scientists worked without sleep. Soldiers trained harder than ever. The 7-day countdown continued. Only 6 days remained. But now, instead of fear alone, a new fire was growing in human hearts. The stars above Earth seemed to shine a little brighter that night. With only 4 days left before the deadline, the world went silent on the surface. But deep underground, humanity was working harder than ever. Captain Elena Reyes stood in a large hidden base below the Rocky Mountains. The air smelled of metal and sweat. Bright lights shone on long tables covered with maps, wires, and half-built machines. Elena looked at her team. There were scientists, soldiers, and even young engineers who had never fought before. "They think we are weak," she said in a strong voice. "We will use their pride against them." The Zorath aliens believed every new race was stupid and easy to control. This was their biggest mistake. Human scientists had studied the alien message and the scout drones carefully. They found a weakness. The aliens did not watch small, normal human activities. They only looked for big armies and loud weapons. So the humans worked in secret. In hidden factories across the world, engineers built new missiles. These missiles were small and smart. They could hide from alien sensors by flying low and using old car parts mixed with new stealth paint. One young engineer named Raj in India smiled as he tested a new engine. "It looks like junk," he said, "but it will fly straight and hit hard." At the same time, soldiers trained without stopping. They ran through dark tunnels, practiced fighting in small groups, and learned how to use simple weapons in clever ways. An old army officer taught them, "Do not fight like them. Fight like humans, with brains and courage." But it was not only soldiers and scientists. Normal people joined the fight too. Teachers in small towns collected old radios and fixed them to send fake signals. Doctors made emergency kits for the coming battle. Truck drivers moved supplies at night on empty roads, hiding from the alien drones that flew above. In China, thousands of workers built fake cities in the desert. These cities had lights, fake heat signals, and recorded voices. When the aliens looked from space, it would look like real towns full of people. The real humans stayed safe underground or in the forests. In Europe, a group of hackers worked in a cold basement. Their leader, a quiet woman named Sophia, found a way to send small computer viruses toward the alien ships. The viruses were weak, but they were many. Like mosquitoes biting an elephant. They hoped to confuse the alien systems at the right moment. Every hour was important. People slept only 2 or 3 hours a day. They ate quickly and kept working. Families said goodbye to fathers and mothers who left to join the secret fight. Children drew pictures of Earth standing tall against the dark ships in the sky. Captain Elena moved from base to base using fast underground trains. She encouraged everyone. In one base in Africa, she met a tall farmer named Kwame who had brought his old hunting rifles. I do not know big weapons, Kwame said, but I know how to protect my land. Elena smiled and put a hand on his shoulder. That is exactly what we need. As the third night came, Elena stood alone on a small hill near the entrance of the mountain base. The stars shone bright above her. The giant alien ship was still there, cold and silent, like a monster waiting to strike. She looked up and spoke softly. They think we are nothing. Today we show them our fire. Her words gave strength to everyone who heard them through secret radios. Hope was growing. Fear was still there, but anger and unity were stronger. But not everything was perfect. In one hidden base, a scout drone came too close. The team had to shut down all power and stay completely quiet for 2 hours. They could hear the low hum of the drone outside. One young soldier closed his eyes and held his breath. When the drone finally left, everyone cheered quietly. They had stayed hidden. Time was running out fast. Only 2 days remained. The humans had built thousands of hidden weapons, made their plans, and united like never before in history. Old enemies from different countries now worked together as brothers and sisters. The world held its breath. On the surface, cities looked empty and quiet. But below, the heart of humanity was beating strong and fast. The preparations were almost complete. Captain Elena looked at her team one last time before the final day. When they come for their tribute, she said, they will not find a kneeling world. They will find a world that stands and fights. The secret work was done. Now it was time for action. The 6th day arrived like a storm. Only 1 day remained before the aliens' deadline. The giant Zorath ship still hung in the sky like a dark shadow. Suddenly, 3 large landing ships broke away from the mothership and came down toward Earth. They flew fast and landed near New York City with a loud roar that shook the ground. Alien soldiers stepped out. They were tall, shiny, and covered in black armor. Their weapons glowed with blue light. The leader of the landing party, a cold commander named Varric, looked around with pride. These humans will kneel now, he said in a harsh voice. Take the first tribute. Bring their leaders and 1 million people to our ships. They expected to see crowds on their knees, crying and begging. But the city streets looked empty and quiet. Only a few scared people ran away in the distance. Varric smiled. Weak creatures. Just as we thought. But this was exactly what Captain Elena Reyes had planned. Hidden in buildings, underground tunnels, and on rooftops, thousands of human fighters waited. Elena stood inside an old subway station with her best team. She spoke softly into her radio. Wait for my signal. Remember, we fight smart, not just hard. The alien soldiers marched forward in perfect lines. Their heavy boots made loud sounds on the broken roads. Scout drones flew above them, scanning for danger. But the humans had prepared well. The fake cities in the desert had pulled many drones away. Only a few remained here. As the aliens reached the center of the trap zone, Elena gave the order. Now. Explosions filled the air. Hidden missiles made from old car engines and stealth paint shot out from trucks and buildings. The first missile hit an alien landing ship right in its side. Fire and smoke rose high. The shiny ship tilted and crashed into the ground with a huge bang. The alien soldiers turned in shock. What is this? Varric shouted. Human fighters attacked from all sides. Soldiers in small groups used clever tricks. Some threw simple smoke bombs to confuse the alien sensors. Others fired rockets from hidden holes in the ground. Raj from India led a team that used old construction cranes to drop heavy metal blocks on the aliens. The blocks crushed 2 alien soldiers instantly. Push forward. Elena yelled as she ran out with her rifle. She moved fast, ducking behind cars and shooting at weak points in the alien armor. Her team followed her with courage. The battle grew fierce. Alien weapons cut through buildings like hot knives through butter. Many brave humans fell. A young soldier named Marcus died protecting his friends from a blue energy blast. Kwame, the tall farmer from Africa, used his hunting rifle to hit an alien in the neck joint. "For my land," he shouted before a blast knocked him down. But the humans did not stop. They fought like never before. Truck drivers drove loaded trucks straight into alien groups and jumped out at the last second. Hackers like Sophia sent their small viruses at the right moment. The alien armor suddenly became slower and their guns jammed for a few seconds. Those few seconds were enough. 3 human teams reached the remaining landing ships. They placed bombs made from simple chemicals and old mining explosives. "Fire!" someone shouted. Bright flashes lit up the sky. All 3 alien landing ships exploded one after another. Pieces of metal flew everywhere. Varric watched from the ground in disbelief. His perfect soldiers were falling. His ships were burning. He shouted into his communicator, "This is impossible. These creatures fight like cornered animals." Up in the mother ship, the main Zorath commander stared at the screens. His cold face showed real surprise for the first time. "How can a young race do this?" he whispered. "They were supposed to kneel." On the ground, Elena climbed onto a broken tank. Blood and dirt covered her face, but her eyes burned with fire. She turned on a powerful radio that reached the alien ship and every human radio on Earth. "We do not kneel," she shouted. Her voice was strong and clear. "We stand. Earth belongs to humanity. If you want tribute, you will have to take it from our dead bodies." Her words spread like wildfire. People hiding in basements cheered. Fighters across the city stood taller. Even normal citizens listening on secret radios felt new hope. The remaining alien soldiers pulled back to their last damaged ship. They left many dead behind. Varric looked at Elena with hate before he escaped. "This is not over, human," he said. The first battle was over. Humans had lost many good people, but they had destroyed 3 alien landing ships and pushed the enemy back. For the first time, the Zorath Empire felt real pain. Smoke rose from the battlefield. Elena looked up at the giant ship in the sky. Her heart beat fast. The aliens were angry now. They would strike harder next time. But humanity had shown its teeth. The defiance had begun. The aliens were now very angry. Their commander stood on the bridge of the giant mothership. His cold eyes looked down at Earth with hate. "These humans refuse to learn," he said in a deep voice. "They destroyed 3 of our landing ships. Now we will teach them a real lesson." The Zorath Empire decided to destroy an entire continent as a warning. Their giant weapons began to glow with deadly green light. The sky above Earth started to shake. People on the ground saw the danger and hid in fear. News spread fast through secret radios, "The end is coming." But humanity had one final plan. Captain Elena Reyes gave the order from a hidden command center. "Now," she shouted. "Launch everything." Thousands of small human ships and missiles rose into the sky like a swarm of angry bees. They came from hidden bases all over the world, from mountains, deserts, and deep oceans. Some ships were old fighter jets with new engines. Others were homemade rockets built from truck parts and factory machines. They flew fast and low at first, then shot straight toward the giant alien ship. The aliens were shocked. Their scanners had missed most of the preparations. "Impossible," the commander yelled. "How did these weak creatures hide so much?" The battle in space began. Bright lights and loud explosions filled the darkness. Alien weapons fired powerful beams that cut through many human ships. Fireballs lit up the sky. Hundreds of brave pilots died in seconds. But the humans did not stop. They kept coming. Humans used every clever trick they knew. They hid behind old space satellites and turned them into flying bombs. Groups of small ships flew together and used asteroids from nearby space as moving shields. When alien beams hit the rocks, the humans stayed safe behind them and fired back. One pilot named Marcus flew his small ship straight at an alien fighter. "For Earth," he shouted as he crashed into it. The explosion took out 2 more enemy ships. Down on Earth, people listened to the radio reports with tears in their eyes. Families held each other. Children prayed for the fighters in space. Everyone felt the same fire in their hearts, they would not kneel. Captain Elena led the most dangerous part of the plan. She took a small team of 20 soldiers in a stealth ship. They flew through the chaos of the battle and landed inside a hole in the alien mothership. The team moved quietly through dark metal halls. Red lights flashed everywhere. Alien guards ran past them, shouting in their strange language. Elena's team used simple tricks to stay hidden. They wore suits that mixed human and captured alien technology. They planted small bombs on the ship's power lines. Sophia the hacker from Europe worked on her computer pad. "I have control of one door," she whispered. "Go." They reached the center of the ship. The air was cold and smelled like metal and strange chemicals. Suddenly, alarms started to scream. Alien soldiers attacked from all sides. Guns fired. Elena's team fought back hard. Kwame the tall farmer used his heavy gun like a hero from old stories. Raj threw small grenades that he had built himself. "Keep moving," Elena ordered. She ran forward with her rifle ready. Her team lost 5 good people in the fight, but they pushed on. Finally, they broke into the main command room. The tall alien commander stood there with his guards. He was even bigger up close, almost 3 meters tall with shining armor and cold black eyes. The alien leader looked at the small human team with surprise. "Why do you fight when you cannot win?" he asked in perfect English. His voice was full of pride. "You are nothing. Your planet is young and weak. You should have knelt and given tribute." Captain Elena Reyes stepped forward. Her face was dirty from battle, but her eyes burned with strength. She lowered her gun a little but stayed ready. "We are human," she said clearly. "We do not kneel to anyone. Not to kings, not to empires, and not to you. Our stars do not bow. They burn brighter when someone tries to put them out." The alien commander laughed, but it was a nervous sound. "Your ships are dying outside. Your world will burn." At that moment, the bombs planted by Elena's team exploded deep in the ship. Lights flickered. The big mothership shook hard. Alarms screamed louder. The alien commander fell to one knee as smoke filled the room. Elena smiled. "You see? We are still here. And we are not finished." Her team fired at the remaining guards. The fight was fast and fierce. Elena faced the commander directly. She did not kill him. Instead, she looked him straight in his cold eyes. "Leave our system," she said. "Tell your empire what happened here today. Tell them that Earth stands tall." Outside, the human fleet kept fighting with everything they had. Even as many ships were lost, the attack had done enough damage. The giant alien ship started to move back slowly. Its weapons became weaker. The green light above Earth faded. The stars above Earth seemed to shine brighter that night. Humanity had risen. They had taken the fight to the enemy's own ship and made the powerful Zorath Empire feel fear for the first time. But the battle was not over yet. The giant alien mothership shook violently. Red lights flashed everywhere. Smoke filled the command room. Captain Elena Reyes stood face to face with the tall Zorath commander. Her team stayed close, guns ready. Outside the ship, the battle in space continued with bright explosions and loud noise. The alien commander slowly stood up. His black eyes were wide with shock. For the first time in his long life, he looked afraid. "This cannot be," he said in a low voice. "We have conquered hundreds of worlds. No one has ever fought like this." Elena did not smile. She kept her eyes locked on him. "You came here and told us to kneel like slaves. You wanted our people, our resources, and our pride. But humans do not kneel. We stand. We fight. We burn brighter when you try to break us." More explosions rocked the ship. Sophia the hacker shouted from the corner, "The main power core is damaged. We have to leave now." Elena gave the order. "Everyone out. Fall back to the stealth ship." Her team moved fast through the dark halls. Alien guards tried to stop them, but the humans fought with fresh courage. Kwame used his heavy gun to clear the way. Raj threw his last grenades. They ran through smoke and fire, jumping over broken metal pieces. They reached their small ship just in time. Elena looked back one last time at the alien commander. "Remember this day," she said. Then they flew out through the hole in the mothership. The space battle was still raging. Many human ships were gone. The sky looked like a fireworks show of death and hope. But the humans who remained kept fighting hard. They used every trick, hiding behind rocks, flying in crazy patterns, and firing all their weapons at the weak points of the big ship. The Zorath commander watched from his damaged bridge. His officers waited for orders. "What should we do?" one asked. The commander looked down at Earth. The planet was hurt, cities burned, smoke rose in the air, but lights still shone. People were not hiding anymore. They stood on rooftops and in streets, looking up with proud faces. "These humans, their stars are too bright," the commander said quietly. "We cannot break them today. Pull back. All ships retreat." The giant mothership slowly turned. Its powerful engines glowed as it moved away from Earth. The smaller alien fighters followed like scared birds. The green death light above the planet disappeared completely. For the first time since the aliens arrived, the sky began to feel free again. On Earth, people could not believe their eyes. Radios exploded with happy voices. "They are leaving," someone shouted. "The aliens are going away." Cities that looked empty before now filled with cheers. People hugged strangers. Families cried tears of joy. Soldiers on the ground raised their fists to the sky. Captain Elena's stealth ship landed safely in the hidden mountain base. When she stepped out, the whole team cheered. Scientists, soldiers, normal workers, everyone was there. They lifted Elena on their shoulders. She looked tired but strong. Her face had cuts and dirt, but her eyes were full of light. "We did it," she said. "Not because we are stronger. Not because we have better weapons. We won because we refused to kneel. We won because we are human." News spread around the world. In every country, people told the story. The young engineer Raj hugged his family. Sophia the hacker smiled for the first time in days. Kwame the farmer sat on the ground and laughed with happy tears. They had all played their part, from big leaders to simple workers. The Zorath Empire did not leave forever. Their damaged ship stopped far away in the solar system. The commander sent one last message to Earth. His voice was cold but respectful now. "People of Earth, you have defied the stars. No race has ever made us retreat like this. We will watch you. One day we may return. But today, you have earned your freedom." The message ended. Earth was safe for now. That night, the stars above Earth seemed to shine brighter than ever. People came out of their hiding places. They lit candles, played music, and told stories of courage. Children looked up at the sky and no longer felt afraid. They felt proud. Captain Elena stood on the same rooftop in New York where the story began. The giant alien ship was now just a small dot in the distance. She whispered the same words again, but this time with a smile. No. We will not kneel. Humanity had shown the whole galaxy something important. When a proud and free people stand together, even the strongest empire must step back. The Zorath aliens learned a hard lesson that day: never underestimate humans. Earth was damaged but alive. Factories would rebuild. Cities would rise again. And the human spirit would burn even stronger. The stars had been defied, and humanity had won its place among them.